Hey guys, Figurecraft here, and today we're going to be going over my next part of the collection in my Naruto figures. Today we will be starting off the Naruto Shippuden figures, but before that we're going to be going over three regular Naruto figures before Shippuden starts. Up first we have the Akatsuki Itachi. This is my second Itachi figurine I got my hands on. He is the one that comes in the little statues with the headband symbols on their stands. When he came in, he needed a whole lot of paint touch-up details, so I touched up paint inside the cloak. I painted red. I painted the toenails. And I also painted the fingernails. But this was when I purchased the whole entire Akatsuki set that we'll be going over individually. But the first two up is Itachi, and then the next one to go with Itachi is his partner, Kisame Hoshigaki. With him, I paint touched up around the black stripe around his arm piece right here. I had to paint black around his wrist. I painted the fingernails. I painted the little ring on his finger. I painted the toenails. And that's all I did for paint work on this figurine. But there are the first two Akatsuki members, Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hoshigaki. They forgot to add the cloud on Itachi's back. I never did get around to fixing that. But there's Itachi and Kisame. The next one up on the list is Zetsu, because he showed up at the final bout right after Naruto and Sasuke had their first fight at the final bout when they were children. Him, I only had to paint touch up his toenails. The inside of the cloak was already painted for me, so he was only a touch up on the toenails. And they added one too many clouds at the back. But that is the Zetsu. Sorry y'all, I almost forgot the detail in Itachi's face. And the detail in Kisame's face. And then the detail in Zetsu's face. I almost forgot to show you all the face details. I'm sorry about that. And then we'll go over the smaller one first. My first Naruto Shippuden figure I got my hands on was this little Sasuke doing the Chidori string. It's a little nitpick figure stand thing. You just have to assemble the stand and assemble the Sasuke, put it together, and that's it. But that is the little Shippuden Sasuke Uchiha. The next one that I have is the first Shippuden figures that came out. I got these at FYE in the mall. We have up first Naruto from Naruto Shippuden doing the Rasengan. It's like a little statue figure, detail in the face. The back of him, he just basically pegs into the back on his butt and it holds him up in the air. But there is the Naruto. He makes sure I got the detail on this Sasuke's face. He's a little bit smaller. Let me zoom in here. There you go. Then we'll zoom back out. The next one up is Gaara. Mine broke on me. He fell off the shelf one day and broke, so I was forced to super glue this back to his gourd, and when I did, he went sideways on me, and now he's stuck in a sideways floating pose. But this is the Gaara from Naruto Shippuden. Let me zoom in on the face. And zoom back out. And here's the back of him, with the sand equipped to his gourd. That's the second figurine that came in that set. The third one is another Itachi figurine that I got my hands on, which blows out like fire style, Fireball Jutsu or Phoenix Flower, whichever one this is. I think it's Fireball. He clips onto the stand on the back of him too, and he floats up in the air, and he's doing his Fireball style. Zoom in. Detail in Itachi's face. Zoom back out. Back of him. And I noticed too on this figurine, they didn't paint the fingernails and they didn't paint the toenails. I just ain't got around to touching that up myself. And then here's his little fire technique that he comes with. It's like a stand thing that just sits in front of him. You just set it in front of him, line it up, and there you go. He's doing fire style. The next one that we have to go over is Kakashi doing the lightning blade. This is Kakashi with lightning blade. Let me try to zoom in, get you a good detail of Kakashi's face. There you go. But that is the Kakashi doing the lightning blade. He just pegs onto the stand, and he has a knee support that holds him up. And then the final one in that set is this one right here, which is my favorite. This is Sasuke Uchiha. When he showed up in the Shippuden wearing this outfit, he's got fire in front of him. I guess he either did fire style or he blocked the fire, or yeah, blocked the fire away from him. This may be when his brother was shooting fire at him. But then again, I don't know. He never wore this outfit when he faced his brother. It was always the updated version. But I'll unplug him off the stand here. He's basically like a statue stand. He has the Uchiha symbol crest on his back. The detail in his face. That's him and this little blue thing right here. Basically connects to one of his feet. It just fell off, but yeah. Connects to one of his feet, and then you just attach him on the stand like that, and that gives him a better way of standing, I guess. Just peg it back on, and that'll give him a better way of standing. Like that. But that's the entire set right there of those. The next set that I have to go over are these three right here that came in a set. The first one is the Naruto. This is Naruto when he's blocking Lady Chiyo's kick when she was trying to kick Kakashi because she thought he was the white fang of the village. You can see he's got one eye closed. Well, he's blocking it. But that's the Naruto figure. And here's his stand. The only bad thing about these figures, when they break off their stands, the pegs remain in their feet. So, yeah. He broke off his stand. Next one we're going over is the Jiraiya. One peg broke off his stand and is in his feet. And the other peg's still on the stand. But here is the Jiraiya. That's the Jiraiya figure. And he basically pegs onto the stand like that. Only bad thing about keeping this figure on the stand is if it stays there too long, it puts a lot of weight on the figure, and the figure will basically morph in its feet, and he'll lean all the way forward. So that's why I leave mine off the stand. And then the last one in this set we're going to be going over is my favorite one, Sasuke in his cursed version 2 form when he was facing Orochimaru when he tried to take his body. He's basically like a figure stand, like a statue, with these big old hand wings on his back. Really detailed. This right here would have been a peg system that would have plugged into the back of him to hold him to the stand better. But he's not on his stand anymore because, like I said, they break off in the pegs in the feet. And I lost his stand. I have no idea what I did with it. But I still have the figure. But there is the Sasuke Cursed version 2 figure. And the wing broke off of mine's back on one of them, and I had to super glue the wing back on. But that is the Shippuden Sasuke Cursed version 2. They just got the hair color wrong, because, you know, he's got like that gray-blue hair color when he goes into his Cursed version 2 form. I just never did paint the hair, I just left it alone. And then up next, we're going to be going over the next Akatsuki members. Up first, we have Deidara. Has that little stand. I had to paint his fingernails, the ring. I had to paint down in the red around his collar. I had to paint the red in his sleeves. I had to paint the red in his cloak. And then I had to paint his toenails. Yeah, a lot of work into this figure. You can see there, extra cloud. They put one too many clouds on these things because they didn't have that many clouds on their cloak. Detailing Deidara's face. But that is the Deidara. And of course the one that came with Deidara is his partner, Sasori of the Red Sand. I had to paint his fingernails. Paint the ring on his finger. Paint the toenails. That was always fun trying to figure out what color nail polishes the Akatsukis had. So when I was watching the anime show, I saw what color that they had, and then I just grabbed the paint color and went to painting. The next one that showed up after Sasori would be Toby. I had to paint red down inside his collar. red up inside the sleeves. I couldn't get in the jacket, that was too risky. And then painted the toenails. But this is Toby. And then the next one that came up, well, I forgot one of them that came with the, because these right here came in a 4. I forgot this one. My bad. The 4th one would be Kakashi. Detailing Kakashi's face. There's the Kakashi that came with this 4 set right here. It wasn't a 3 set, it was a 4 set. You get Kakashi, Naruto, Jiraiya, Sasuke, Cursed Form, Seal 2. Anyway, back to the Akatsukis. Up first we have Kakazu. I had to paint the red and green in his eyes because when he came in the mail, they were gray and white, which was not the color. I had to paint inside the cloak around his head. Basically, it was easy because the head pops out of the cloak. It just plugs in there. I had to paint the fingernails. And his Akatsuki ring is right there. I had to paint his Akatsuki ring. I had to paint inside the sleeves. I painted inside of the cloak around the feet. And I painted the toenails. But there is Kakazu of the Akatsuki, the one that collects the money. And then his partner, Hidan. I left his eyes red. I know they're like a purple, light purple color on the show, but I left his eyes red because I figured it best suits him. I had to paint his chest because they had it. He was wearing a blue shirt underneath his cloak, which was not right, so I painted his chest. I painted red inside of the cloak at the sleeves. I painted the toenails. And this scythe, I made this scythe out of oven-baked clay. He did not come with this scythe. This is made out of oven-baked clay with a string tied around it. That way I can just drape the string over his head. Let me get it back on here. Over his head. Put the string right there. Feed the rest of the string under his sleeve on that side. And then, there you go. Hidan now has his big trusty scythe on his back. But yeah, that's made out of oven-baked clay. Because he don't come with the scythe. And then the last two to go over is Konan. I had to paint her face a little bit. I painted her piercing in her lip. I painted her... Come on, camera, focus. I don't know why my camera's not focusing. There we go. I had to paint her fingernails, her Akatsuki ring. Down there, too. I had to paint her toenails, and they was making it to where she wore regular pants under her cloak when you know for a fact she don't. She wears like these high heel sandals. So I painted the white over top of it. I painted over top white. I left the white around the bottom of the shoes to try to make it look like the sandals. But they just gave her the regular, the regular Akatsuki looking pants like this, and I had to paint all that. And then the final one is Pain. When he came in, he had solid red hair. Kind of almost like sorcery, but his hair was redder. And his eyeballs were like plain white with orange pupils. So I painted the hair orange. I tried my best to paint the Rinnegan. And I painted the piercings in his face, even in his ears. I painted his fingernails. I painted around inside of his cloak, around his neck, in his sleeves, around his feet, and I painted his toenails. But yeah, I really did try my best on painting his face, but such a small detail. But that was my first paint figure. I got two more paint figures to go over in the future videos. But that's going to do it for this part of the collection for my Naruto figure collection. I am waiting on another figure to come in the mail. I know she has released in Japan. The Aerith Final Fantasy VII Playwrights Kai remake figure has released in Japan. And hopefully I'll have mine in the mail soon. I know the place I ordered from is the Square Enix store in America. Their scheduled release for her is July. So hopefully soon they'll get her in stock and mail her to me. After that, I have the rest of the other Final Fantasy figures coming in. I got them all on pre-order. I just got to wait for them to come out. I know Reno comes out in August by their website, unless, you know, the date changes. But August for Reno. September for Rude. October for Sephiroth. And then when you get into next year, January for Rufus. February for Red 13. June for Jesse and Cloud on the motorcycle. August for Sonon. And August for Yuffie. And that's of next year. So, once I get those figurines in the near future, I will be doing box opening reviews on that. But in the meantime, I'll be going over the rest of my figure collection. So until then, you all have a blessed one, and I will catch you guys in the next one. And goodbye.